Hello loves, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to bless something. I got this question in the comments, and so I wanted to answer it today for those who are curious on how to bless, like whether it's tools, whether it's something that you're trying to like use, or whether it's something that you're trying to give to someone, or you're trying to cleanse something or use it in a particular ritualistic way. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Before I get started, just a reminder, we are going to Egypt. We're having an Egypt spiritual retreat. There are limited spots left. There's still some spots left for the early bird, for those who are going to want the discount, but definitely make sure that you reserve your spot, because we're going to Egypt. We're going to be having a whole entire ceremony. We're doing a lot of spiritual work. I'm going to have the video up here for the breakdown of what we're going to be doing in Egypt. It is going to be a powerful 9 days of just going to the temples, going to the pyramids, being in ceremony, being in the Nile. We're going to be doing a lot. There's going to be a workshop on the Ankh, and we're going to be doing a recalling your power attunement with the Ankh as well. We're going to be doing a lot, so definitely make sure you reserve your spot because spots are limited. With that being said, we're going to jump into this video. So when it comes to blessing something, there's different ways to bless like an object or a thing for whatever it is that you're doing. Blessing something usually comes after you have cleansed something, right? It's important before you bless an item or start to consecrate it or whatever it is you're working on. You need to first cleanse the item. Like, that's the first thing you need to make sure that you're cleansing the space. Think of it as like if you're doing you're preparing a ceremony and you know you have to like take a shower, you know you have to like set up the space. Like, there's pre-steps. So pre-step to blessing something is cleansing, okay? So you want to make sure that the energy's good, the energy's clear, so that when you go in to, prepare that object to bless it, whatever it may be, you are, you're in the clear. Like, you're good to go. You're not trying to bless something that has energies that it shouldn't have, because you don't want to do that. So think of it as like if you just moved into a house, but all of the old things from the people who live there are still in the home. Their energy's still in the home. You can't just start moving your stuff in, like, right? Because there's all this other stuff there. You have to like first prepare, remove, right? And then you get to bring your stuff in. So think of it like that. Like, you're just, there's a pre-step to blessing. Don't just like grab whatever it is and be like, yeah, I'm gonna bless this without doing the cleansing first, because you can end up like mixing some murky energies, especially if whatever you didn't cleanse, like if you didn't cleanse the thing, it can have like some stagnant energies. It could end up backfiring in spell work. It can end up backfiring ritualistically. It can also backfire like with your spirits. Like, if it's something that you're trying to bless or ask one of your spirits to bless for you and you didn't cleanse it beforehand, if your spirits are gonna be like, what did you just put on my altar? That's on you. So you just have to make sure first you cleanse. Okay, you cleanse, then you bless. That's the rule. They go together. When you cleanse, even when you're cleansing your home, you're going through, you're like, you have your windows open, you got, whether it's resin, whether it's, like incense, however it is that you're cleansing, whether it's like a smoke bundle that you're going through your cleansing, you're gonna wanna, after you cleanse, you're gonna wanna bless. Same thing when you're doing like your floor washes and stuff like that. You have to cleanse the floor first, and then you bless the floor with the floor wash. That's the purpose of the thing. So just keep in mind that the two go hand in hand. Now, when it comes to blessing something, there's a couple of different ways you can go about blessing something. Most of the time, how things are blessed is through prayer. Just to keep it very kind of really basic and clear. It's either through prayer, or if you write some sort of intention over it, like let's say whether it is like a petition or you're just having an intention over it, most of the time that intention is literally a prayer, or a statement of activation of some sort. But most of the time is a prayer, because when you're praying over an object and you're speaking words of power, you're adding your words of power, you're also bringing to life what you're willing it, what the point of it is to do. So when you're blessing it, when you're really tapping into the energy of, okay, this is how I'm going to be working with you. This is what I wish for. You know how when we say the saying like, oh, my grandmother's prayers of protection is still protecting me? It's kind of like that. Like there's certain things that are just like, it's going to be residually, I'm going to be using it as I'm using this tool, as I'm blessing it for whatever it is that I'm blessing it for. I'm activating it with these words of power. So you can do like a blessing with chants. You can do blessing, the most common is with prayer. You can also do it energetically when you're blessing something. Like if you want to infuse your energy into a specific object, you can hold your hands over it. And especially, this is for my peoples who do energy work, really, really good to do. Works especially well with crystals because they have their own energy as well. But if you're trying to specifically do this with energy, right, and kind of working with the energy after you cleanse it and then you're infusing it back in, then you're going in and praying with it. One of my favorite ways to also go about this is when I'm like moon charging or sun charging, or solar charging, like when there's like a solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, whatever. If I'm working with those particular energies and then I want to bless something with the energies, I will make sure that as it's charging, like after it's been like a good amount of hours and I'm like, okay, and I check on the energy and I'm like, oh, it's good, it's nice, it's like, it's spicy. I will go over and then I will like set intention either energetically or through prayer or through chant, because it's just really easy to set that way. If you are trying to bless something with one of your spirits, your deities, your ancestral spirits, like your gods and goddesses, whomever, your angels, whomever you work with, you would ask them to bless it for you at their altar space. You have to be very clear though when it comes to them as to like, this is not a gift, because the thing is like there's sometimes that you will put something on one of your spirit's altars and they'll be like, oh, thank you for the gift because you put it on my altar space, when you had a whole different ass intention for whatever that thing was. So you have to be very intentional about what you're putting in the altar. There's a lot of times where I'll put something in their altar and I'll be like, hey, so please charge this for me, whatever it is. It'll be like a crystal. For example, like I always have these two in my altar for Aset, because these are two of her crystals, and so I use it a lot in my craft, and so I'll ask her to bless this for me so that I may use it in my craft later for spell work that I'm either working with her with or that I'm just doing work for myself, for whatever it is that I'm gonna feel compelled to bring these two out for me to use. I will ask her to bless it for me. I will ask her to prepare these for me to use and have it ready for me to use and to give like her blessing over them. Oftentimes I'll do a prayer and I'll ask her in that way. You can also do a meditation, closing your eyes, you're holding, again, it's combining meditation with the energy, infusing the energy on it, where you're visualizing going into the meditation and then visualizing that prayer and the intention going in there as well. It's all about the way you're approaching it, and it's about you having a clear vision of why you're doing the blessing. Why are you blessing it for? You could do it like a general blessing, like for example, home blessings usually have like a general intention for grounding, for prosperity, for things, the vibes to be good, for peace, good health. Like they have like, general blessings. So there's like general prayers that you can do when you're like cleansing your home and yada yada yada. For different tools that you might use, like different like necklaces, you can bless them for different things. Like you can activate them for different things energetically. You can leave it in their altar. A lot of the time will leave a lot of my jewelry in different spirits like that I work with altar. I will dedicate certain jewelry to them that when I wear them, it is with their blessing for the energy that they're infusing with it is how I'm working with it. So that's some of the ways that you can bless something. Very basic, generally very easy to do, but there are a little bit more advanced ways to bless something where it can be a little bit more complicated. There are some blessings that require more stuff or more, like that you can add, like you can combine adding like fragrances, and like when you're cleansing them, when you're going over them, you can like anoint them with different things, and that would add to the blessing. You can use oils, you can use, you can use a candle too. You can have, when you're blessing something, you can set the candle as the intention of what the blessing is, and as it burns through, it is being infused to the item. So there's different ways to work with it, but this is some of the basic ways that you can really start incorporating into your practice. And then as you go on, it becomes kind of like second nature. Like you kind of know, okay, I cleanse this, I need to bless this. Cleanses, I need to bless this. Kind of like when you're gonna burn a candle, you're like, okay, well, I had cleansed a candle, but now I need to burn it for this spell or whatever. your intention is what's going in there, and part of that is what you're infusing into that candle, right? So it's the same thing when it comes to blessing something. So I hope that was clear. I hope that answered the question. Thank you guys for asking all these questions. If you do have any spiritual questions that you want me to like target and answer, go ahead and leave a comment down below of what you want to know and what you want me to talk about on the channel, because we can always make a video. You guys know I don't mind. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you have any questions that you want me to talk about. And I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see y'all in the next video. Have a very blessed day.